Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this meeting of the Los Angeles City Board of Public Works. It's Wednesday, December 1, 2021. Dr. Campos, do we have quorum?
Morning, everyone. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, establishing roll call and quorum for today. We have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Caloza. Mr. President, you do have a quorum at this time. Currently, we do not have any callers on the line under general public comment. We also have no commentary under the neighborhood council comment section. We do have one speaker on the line for item number 12 for today's agenda.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Campos. If I forget, will you help me remember on item 12?
Definitely, I will.
That's the tree report, correct?
It's the grant awards.
Oh, the grant award. Okay, got it. Yep. Sounds good. Okay. All right. Let's get going. We will kick it off. Well, first of all, general public comment is officially closed, and we will start by taking the minutes from Wednesday, November 10, 2021. I will motion to approve those minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Commissioner Caloza, Vice President Garcia, any concerns or objections? And good morning to both of you. All right, hearing no objections, the minutes from Wednesday, November 10, 2021 are adopted and approved forthwith. Let's take item 1, and then we are going to skip towards item 12. So we'll take the bids and then do item 12. Forgive Mr. Flamenco. Is Dr. Campos on his way along with Matthew?
I will make myself available. Yes.
Good morning, Matthew. Oh, let me mask up. Morning, sir. How you doing? Matthew has a mask that says Hump Day Wednesday. That is a great mask. Okay. Item 1 is receipt of bids for the Secondary Sewer Renewal Program BCON 03, E28 and E30. Work order SZC 14006. Estimated cost of the project is $681,085. This project is in Cs 2 and 6.
Thank you, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. We will open up the bids now for the first project. We have 3 bids received for this project. The first bid received is from M&R Construction Incorporated for a total bid amount of $842,265 even. That's $842,265 from M&R Construction Incorporated. For the record, line item number 13 has been lined out by the contractor with a capital initiative.
Got it.
Please let me know if I need to raise my voice. Otherwise, I'm going to continue this volume. The second bid received for this project is from Beautifying Incorporated for a total bid amount of $772,162 even. That's $772,162 from Beautifying Incorporated, and that's GRBCON Incorporated.
Thank you.
And the third and final bid received for this project is from Beautification Associates for a total bid amount of $956,357 even. That's $956,357 from Beautification Associates. Mr. President, that concludes the bid openings for today's agenda and for this project as well.
All right, thank you, Dr. Campos. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Cairo. Do I have a motion to accept these bids?
So moved.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Do I have a second? Thank you, Commissioner Caloza. These bids are well, Dr. Campos, you want to take a roll call? Thank you.
Let's take a vote, Mr. President. We'll go ahead and take the vote. There's been a motion by Dr. Davis, seconded by Commissioner Caloza. Caloza to receive, open, and declare the bids. We'll start with President Good,
Aye.
Vice President Garcia,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis,
Aye.
and Commissioner Caloza.
Aye.
Thank you. This motion passes and is adopted unanimous.
Sure. I don't know if we even accept bids forthwith. Is that a thing?
Yes, if you could please accept the board.
All right, let's accept them. We will accept these forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Campos. All right. This is an exciting one. We're going to go to item 12. I'm going to read the item, then I know we have a caller on the item. So let me read the item into the record. We'll take our comment on the item, and then we'll have our presentation. Item number 12, Grant Award and Fund Release, Beautify LA Grant Cycle 2021. Recommending the board, 1, approve the grant award of 14 projects for the Beautify LA Grant Cycle 2021 at a total aggregate grant award of $33,980. 2, authorize the disbursement in the amount of $13,482.37 to Beautifying from the Public Works Trust Fund, number 834, Department 50, appropriation account number 5000DE, and 3, authorize the disbursement in the amount of $20,497.63 to Beautify from the Los Angeles Conservation Corps' Community Beautification Grant Fiscal Agent Holding Account. I know it looks like, I think Jamie York has a hand raised. Dr. Campos, why don't we hear a comment and then we'll go into the presentation.
Absolutely. Just in case anyone has joined us in the last couple of minutes, if you're here from the general public, the Board of Public Works is now considering item number 12, which is the grant award for the Beautify LA Grant Cycle Program 2021. If you'd like to speak on this item, if you can please raise your hand by pressing *9 or click the raise hand icon. Mr. President, we do have one caller on the line. Ms. Jamie York is on the line. If you can please unmute your microphone.
Hi, Jamie York, Reseda Neighborhood Council, but I'm speaking as an individual. Just wanted to say that we're really, really, really excited about this grant award. Reseda is an area that has traditionally been underparked, and this area of Reseda is in an area that's particularly lacking in green resources. So we're really excited to take, essentially just a small amount of money and turn a space that has been neglected and blighted into a space that is going to be nice for families to walk through and to sit at. It's near 2 different schools in our community, and it's a well-traveled pedestrian pathway. So the opportunity to add some seating and some shade will really turn this area into an asset for our community. So we're just really excited for the opportunity and to have gone through the process. And we're looking forward to going through the process again next year. So we have a whole bunch of spaces like this in our community that we feel like we could improve with similar small projects like this.
Thank you, Ms. York. Appreciate that very much. That's exciting. That's great to hear. So let's get our presentation underway with our Director of Office of Community Beautification, Paul Rodge, and his esteemed team member, Karina Casillas. Good morning to both of you. And why don't you go ahead and jump right in.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. Paul Rodge, Director of the Office of Community Beautification. I think for all of us as city employees, one of the most rewarding aspects of the job is when we're able to do something to improve the quality of life for residents of the city, and to create something that's positive and beautiful in the city of Los Angeles. Through Keep Los Angeles Beautiful, we're able to do just that this morning by presenting 14 projects to the board, which has successfully navigated the Beautify LA grant process and are being brought forward this morning as our recommended projects. Originally, we started with 50 applications that were submitted for review. Out of those 50, we have narrowed it down to our fabulous 14 that have made the cut and are being recommended for funding of their projects. These projects were evaluated on being a good investment in the community, on partnerships and collaboration, on the maintenance plan, on the budget, and other items that were included in the different applications. As mentioned, total funding to be awarded would be $33,980. One of the best things about these grants and these projects is that they are community-driven and neighborhood-based. The ideas for the projects were germinated in the community and required collaboration and support of various community organizations and groups. Although the amount being offered for the grants is fairly minimal, it is matched by community efforts and donations, which significantly increase the value for each project. There are various types of projects, from landscaping to murals to community gardens. 50% of the projects are in areas that were identified as being low income or disadvantaged. We utilized the Callen-Biro screen to look at those different areas. And this exceeded our original goal, which we had set at 33% of our projects being in those types of areas. Of these projects this morning, there are 7 that will require public works permits in order to actually do their work. And they will be part of the OCB Adopt a Median program, and we will continue to work with those organizations to secure their required permits. I want to take a moment to acknowledge the OCB staff who helped shepherd the grant program to where we are today. To all the members of the Keep LA Beautiful Advisory Board who volunteered a great amount of time reviewing all of these project submissions and ranking them based on the criteria mentioned earlier. And to acknowledge Commissioner Garcia for her overall leadership on the grant project and Keep LA Beautiful in general. And finally, and most importantly, to those residents of the city of Los Angeles and the different communities who saw a need in their area and spent the time putting together a proposal for submission. We have some great projects. We're looking forward to seeing them in the ground. And at this point, I want to turn the presentation over to Karina Casillas of OCB, who will give us a quick PowerPoint presentation on the different projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. Good morning, everyone. My name is Karina Casillas. I am with the Office of Community Beautification. And here today, briefly, I'd just like to go over some of the projects that were submitted for this grant. As Paul mentioned, we had a total of 52 projects, requests that came in during round 1. Out of those, 26 were invited to round 2. And we ended up with a total of 14, which is the list that we're going to go through today. First up, we have the Watts Imperial Quartz Unity Garden. This is the project grant will go towards the purchase of pollinator plants and materials for garden benches. It is organized by Green Spaces LA and located in CD 15. Next up, we have Beautifying the LA River Bike Path. The scope of work for this is landscaping, and it is organized by the LA River Walkers and Watchers organization. And this is located in CD3. One of our other projects is the Footbridge Square or Valley Heart Median. The scope of work for this project is also landscaping, and it is organized by a local neighborhood watch in CD2. So all of these pictures are before sites, and at a later time we will of course then be joining each of these projects at their grand openings and to see the work that they've accomplished. Next up, we have the Porter Ranch Beautification Project located in CD12. This scope includes a total of 3 parks and 4 different projects and organized by the local neighborhood council in CD12. We have the Washington Transit Corridor Beautification Project. They are hoping to install artistic banners, and this is organized by the Mid-City Neighborhood Council in Council District 10. We also have the Rosewood Gardens mural project. They are hoping to install a mural at this location, and it is organized by Mid-City West Neighborhood Council in Council District 5. We have the Beautify Thai-Town project, which will be reinstalling the plaques on these statues, and it was organized by the Thai Community Development Center in Council District 13. We also have the OWN Community Shed Construction Project. OWN stands for One World, One Nation. Their scope of work is a multi-purpose shed to be installed in their garden, organized by the Farm LA project located in Council District 13. We have the Valero Street Pocket Park, which will be doing landscaping in addition to bench and painting parts of the area that need it, organized by the Reseda Neighborhood Council in CD3. We have the Chesterfield Square Mural Project, which will be installing a mural organized by the Chesterfield Square Community Book Club in CD8. We have the Amazing Gardens and Campus Beautification Project, a garden organized by Delvian Drive PTA in CD14. And the LA River Stewardship Memorial, which will be doing landscaping organized by the Atwater Village Neighborhood Council in CD13. And the Let's Beautify North Hills project, which will be doing landscaping organized by the North Valley Caring Services in CD7. In addition to the Bronson Canyon Traffic Circle, which will be using funds to improve the area, organized by the Oaks and Bronson Canyon Improvement Fund in CD4. That concludes our 14 projects. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ms. Casillas. Thank you, Mr. Rodge. Let's open this up for conversation. Dr. Davis, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, I just want to first of all observe that the outreach that we implemented in the project was good in terms of being able to get different entities and organizations to participate and submit their proposals. And the result of your presentation is that we have opportunities to grant in various dynamic areas of the city. And I think that that's really great in terms of us being able to execute a program, and it's what we look forward to, is to make sure that the various regions of the city can partake in the granting that we are implementing. And I want to compliment the Beautification office for that work. And so I look forward to the various areas in South Los Angeles and going to observe the improvements that we have been able to create an opportunity to exist as a result of this grant. Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Thank you, Dr. Davis. Commissioner Colosa.
Thank you, President Good. And maybe you can remove the share screen, Karina. Thank you. Thank you for the presentation and love seeing all the pictures. Thank you to Mr. Rodge and your entire team, Ms. Casillas. You guys did a great job. This is such a impactful program. As we can see, you had such a huge amount of interest, and at first you're probably like, is this enough money, right? Will people actually apply and invest to this? It's only, $2,500 max. And these are the types of projects that really improve the quality of life and get everybody involved and care about their community. And I guess one of the questions that I have is, what do we do with the 38 applications that weren't able to get the funding? And just curious if there was a plan for that, whether or not there's going to be any plans for round 2, or maybe those could be potentially some applications to share with the council offices to see if those are potential projects that they want to take on. I just hate to lose the tremendous amount of work and effort that the community has invested in putting together an application and kind of identifying the needs of the community. And so just wanted to hear if there was any plans for the 38.
Yeah, Commissioner, thank you for that question, because there were some good projects that obviously we just weren't able to fund. It was a fairly small funding amount that we had available. We are looking at doing a second round at the beginning of next year, and certainly any of those groups would be eligible to apply again. We've reached out to a number of the council offices already and let them know about the different projects that were submitted in their areas. Also, we are looking at other funding options through either the state Caltrans grant, if they might want to partner with us on funding some of these projects, and there is also a budget request in for next year to boost up the grant program. So we are hopeful that we're going to be able to secure some additional funding and fund not only more projects, but also projects at a higher dollar amount and really get some good projects out there. We are lucky that, a number of these projects, we're able to find additional funding sources, and through the community investment, the value far exceeds, what we as the city are able to contribute. But you're right, there's some good projects that we don't want to lose.
Thank you for sharing that and forecasting kind of some next steps and plans. I think that's really exciting. I also like how this program is structured so that the awardees would get their funds more quickly, given that it is a smaller amount. That said, that means that it's a more expedited process through MOCAFI. I always mispronounce this. MOCAFI through the Angelino card was really great, and thank you to the mayor's office for that. I don't really have any more questions. I'm just excited for your program. I want to thank, of course, Vice President Garcia for all her hard work on this, and for championing this, and to all the callers who are here and who kind of gave us all their feedback. I think it's really exciting, and I look forward to seeing the completion of all these beautification projects. One last final thought too is for the next round, one of the things and you maybe have this in your application already, and I just didn't see it. I noticed that some of the applications have to do with maintenance, right? So not necessarily new projects, but actually like maintaining some old projects that we're beautifying. So maybe that might be something to distinguish for the second round. Because I think that's something that we always know that we need more funds for, and I don't even know if that's a new thing altogether, right? Maintenance for existing beautification projects versus like new projects altogether. But just a thought and an observation for this, but great work to the entire OCB team, and congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Calosa. Vice President Garcia.
Thank you, President Good, and good morning to everyone. Thank you to my colleagues for your comments. I really appreciate it. I think, Calosa, you're absolutely right. Maintenance and enhancement is one of the things that we want to make sure that we turn around and pay attention to, because that's exactly what, sometimes our communities do great projects out there, and it's just the maintenance part of it. So I'll get off of that, but I just want to say thank you to everyone here. Thank you to everyone that participated. And, it is very nice and rewarding to be able to do this, even though it is a $2,500 award that they would be receiving. It's not just $2,500. It's money, it's seed money. It could be, like I said, enhancement money. It could be additional money to just beautify and just bring to life again pieces of our city. And I'm truly in the belief that once we improve a piece or once we improve any section of the city and beautify and make it look beautiful, the community will maintain it. The community will take care of it. And this is a deter. We don't want any more blight in our city, as we all know, right? But our community is really taking an action on just coming forward and saying, I want to clean this part of my area. We have bikeways and we have so much nice garden and benches, open spaces, just revitalize those open spaces again. And that just brings community back to a sense of pride. And once you have a sense of pride of your community, you want to keep it and you want to maintain it and you want to give more. So this is like seed money for more of that encouragement throughout the city. So I'm just very happy and proud to be part of this team. Out of the 50 and applications that came in, 14 are being awarded. I want to personally thank our Keep Los Angeles Beautiful board members because they were the ones that scored all 50, then all 20, and then hit up with the 14. I want to thank Michael Kublock, who is a part of our Keep Los Angeles Beautiful board, Joyce Amaro, Jackie Keene, Susan Simmons, Ida Talaya, Jill Mather, and John Tang. Along, if I'm missing anybody, Karina and Paul, please tell me. Along with Paul, Karina, Jerry, Thomas, Anna Weezer, and Diana from the PA's office, who has been recruited now into our board. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. You guys have done such a great job in putting this together. It was not just one person. We did it all in the team. But I do have to give a special shout out to Karina for really leading this effort, really being the one that did the day-to-day stuff, like making sure the spelling was right, the type was right, what we were putting in, so she really led those. So I just want to say thank you, Karina, for that. You have really this is going to go a long way, and I hope within your career and your profession, this is a milestone of what you've done. So Karina, congratulations. And of course, Paul, thank you for always being a leader in this effort and giving us all your expertise all the time, making sure that we were able to circle this grant around the right way. So thank you for that, Paul, as well. And then I also want to thank our other bureaus, Bureau of Engineering, Street Services, Sanitation, and Street Lighting, because we also did get quick permits from them, not quick permits, but permission or a quick review on saying this is a good project to do. Let's move forward to it. So thank you to all those liaisons on our beautification project from each of the bureau, and also to our council offices, whoever's here listening or not. I just want to say thank you for your support and your encouragement and for your help with. I know some of you council offices and field reps help some of these organizations write and help them, not write it, but help them just kind of support them and put their thoughts together on what they can and cannot do out in the public right away. So I just want to say thank you for helping, just kind of moving along the community groups. And yes, we will have a second round, so excited about that. And obviously I'm very passionate about this, so I'm like going on and on. But I'll end with this. All commissioners, including Villegas, who's not here today, you guys are more than welcome to come out when the projects are either getting done, when we're going to do a ribbon cutting. We intend to celebrate this as much as we can, because it is a time to come back and revitalize your own community. Pay attention to your community and really work and take care of your own community. So we're really making sure that happens. So it's a time for celebration. At least we'll have 14 in the next couple of months to celebrate. You all will be invited. So will our board members for the Keep Los Angeles Beautiful Advisory Board, and anytime anybody wants to participate, maybe you want to go help out and do some planting, you're more than welcome to do it as well. So I'll stop there because I can keep going forever. But thank you so much to everyone. And obviously, I'm very excited to move this item forward. So thank you with that. I hope I didn't miss out. And then, oh my God, I did miss two more people that really did help us too. This is Dr. Campos. So Fernando, sorry about that. You've been helping us along the way too. And Norman, who was really our tracker of our funds and making sure that all funds we were staying within parameters of the city. So Norman and Fernando, thank you so much as well for doing this. I appreciate it.
And we should also mention Art too, our
True.
boring, because he helped look at each of the projects just for any liability concerns, and he helped rank and review some of the projects as well. So.
That's right. Thank you, Paul. And anyone else that I missed, thank you. You are all part, including you commissioners, you are all part of 14 new community beautification projects in the next 9 months.
Okay, well, I think the only thing missing today is enthusiasm. If I feel like the program would be thriving so much more if Vice President Garcia felt a little more pride and excitement about this. Hopefully we'll be able to muster that up. But in all seriousness, this is great. Work on the ground is where, literally and figuratively, is how change begins. It is how communities are built. It's how communities are revitalized. It's how communities are maintained. And this is exciting. And in the figurative sense, that really all these projects are seeds. They're all seeds, and it'll be exciting to watch them grow. And I know that Vice President Garcia is far from done. She's very committed to getting, ensuring the life or the revitalization of this program passed just this year. And I look forward to working with you toward that end. And so it's very exciting. I want to congratulate and thank you for your leadership on this. Truly relentless. I want to thank Paul and Karina for y'all's great work on this. And then the litany of folks who contributed from our house, Norman, Art, it sounds like, I know the whole OCB team was involved, the council offices, everybody who socialized and got people fired up about this. That's the really meaningful work. So thank you to everybody. This is exciting. It's going to be great. Very much looking forward to seeing it all play out. So with that, I will take a motion from Vice President Garcia to move the item forward. You got that?
Yes.
All right. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Calosa. Any concerns or objections, Dr. Davis? You're on mute, but I think I got you.
Yeah, no objections.
Very good. All right, Dr. Campos, you want to take roll call, please, sir?
Absolutely. There's been a motion by Commissioner Garcia, seconded by Commissioner Calosa to adopt item number 12 on today's agenda. We'll take the vote now. President Good.
Aye, enthusiastically.
Vice President Garcia.
Double enthusiastic. Aye.
This raises the bar. Dr. Davis.
Aye.
And Commissioner Calosa.
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Mr. President, would you like to consider this item to go forthwith?
Make it double forthwith.
Triple. Great, thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Campos. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Outstanding and excellent work. Can't wait to see how the projects play out. Thanks, y'all.
Great, thank you.
Ms. York, if you're still on. Thank you for joining and thank you for participating. All right, let's now move back to the top of the agenda. We're going to take items 2 through 10 together. I will read them all into the record, then Mr. Flamenco can give us his presentation. And we will move forward with that. So, item 2. Buckle up, folks. Item 2, assessment hearing number 1. Coinga Boulevard and Bloomfield Street, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, Council hearing December 7, 2021. Item 3, assessment hearing number 2. Mount Gleason Avenue and Apperson Street, number 1, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, Council hearing December 7, 2021. Item 4, assessment hearing number 3, Berry Avenue and LaGrange Avenue, number 2, Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, Council hearing December 7, 2021. Item 5, assessment hearing 4, Athens Way and Imperial Highway Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing December 7, 2021. Item 6, assessment hearing number 5, Essex Street and 16th Street Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing December 7, 2021. Item 7, assessment hearing number 6, Plaza del Amo Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing December 7th, 2021. Item 8, assessment hearing number 7, 7th Street Streetscape Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing December 7th, 2021. Item 9, assessment hearing number 8, Overland Avenue and Missouri Avenue number 1 Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing December 7th, 2021. Item 10, assessment hearing number 9, Fargo Street and Apex Avenue Street Lighting Maintenance Assessment District, City Council hearing December 7, 2021. Good morning, Mr. Flamenco.
Good morning, Ruben Flamenco, Bureau of Street Lighting. Items 2 through 7, as well as items 9 and 10, pertain to lighting districts which we are creating in conjunction with private development projects. Item 8 pertains to a lighting district which we are creating in conjunction with a Bureau of Street Services initiated streetscape project. Ballots for items 2 through 10 were mailed on October 20th, 2021. Ballots for items 2 through 10 must be received by the City Clerk's office by Tuesday, December 7th. We have not received any objections to date on items 2 through 10. We are requesting for the board to adopt and forward items 2 through 10 forthwith to City Council.
Thank you, Mr. Flamenco. Questions, colleagues? Dr. Davis, any questions? Any questions on items 2 through 8, the assessment hearings? Dr. Davis?
No questions for me on this item.
Thank you. Commissioner Closa?
Thank you, President Good. Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Flamenco. No questions for me.
Thank you, Commissioner. Vice President Garcia?
Thank you, President Good and Mr. Flamenco. Point of clarification, Mr. Flamenco, which one did you say was the one you're working with Bureau of Street Services?
Item 8, which is the 7th Street Streetscape project.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
It's between San Pedro Street and Hope Street.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That was all for me. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Flamenco.
Thank you, Commissioner or Vice President Garcia. All right. Actually, Commissioner Closa, you spoke, or okay, great. All right. I'll take a motion to move the items forward.
So moved.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. I will go ahead and second. Dr. Campos, you want to go ahead and take roll call, please?
Absolutely. There's been a motion by Commissioner Garcia, seconded by Commissioner Good, to adopt and receive the hearing assessments for items 2 through 10 and recommend that the City Council confirm the proposed assessments. We'll go ahead and take the vote at this time. President Good?
Aye.
Vice President Garcia?
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis?
Aye.
And Commissioner Caloza?
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Mr. President, can we consider this to go forthwith?
Yes, please do.
Thank you.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Flamenco.
Thank you.
That brings us to item number 11. Item number 11 is construction services contract, Cisco, and budget increase. Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant, Biosolids Truck Loading Facility Fan, and Ducting Installation Project, CIP 8173. Recommending the board authorize $449,000 in additional funding and approve a revised budget of $1,315,000 for the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant Biosolids Truck Loading Facility Fan and Ducting Installation Project. And 2, authorize the city engineer to use Cisco and to issue task work orders to the Cisco's contractor for an amount not to exceed $1,315,000 for the project. Work order SZH12008. I see Mr. Wong, I see Ms. Simons. And thank you all both here on the item. Please proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is Ethan Wong with Bureau of Engineering, Environmental Engineering Division. So the project before you is our Capital Improvement Project 8173 at the Imperial Water Reclamation Plant, biosolids truck loading facility. And what this project does is basically we're going to be replacing the fans and ducting for this odor control facility. So at the biosolids truck loading facility, this is the area at the plant where treated biosolids are loaded onto trucks and then transported offsite. So this obviously creates a lot of foul air, and it is critical for the plant and for our Southern California Air Quality Management District permit to operate to comply with odor control levels in this facility. So the existing fans that are part of removing the foul air from the facility have been tripping when they've been in higher speeds because of a lot of vibration. So we've looked at the design and had to modify the design, and now are modifying the fans to radial tip fans to avoid this vibration, because this vibration causes premature wear and tear, and the existing fans are in danger of failing, and we don't want that to happen due to the critical nature of this facility. So on October 9th, the board authorized the use of Cisco, our Cisco contractor, to issue task workers in the not to exceed amount of $866,000 to do the scope of this work of replacing the fans, the various ducting, and ancillary electrical and mechanical work. So since that time, we have started work on the facility, replacing dampers and whatnot, while the fans were being fabricated. At this point in time, in negotiations with the Cisco contractor, we have found that the estimate didn't carry the full amount of the costs, and so we're requesting additional monies today for largely attributed to electrical and instrumentation control scope, some of which is added scope to the project, as well as added FRP ducting that has a significant cost. So a lot of the extra cost is contributed or is because of escalation that has happened throughout construction industry and to various products and materials and so on and so forth. We've also added some scope for our instrumentation and control in connection for monitoring and control of the actuators by our distributed control system at the Hyperion's control room on site. So with this, we are requesting $449,000 to be added to our project budget, revising the total from $866,000 to $1,315,000 so that we can complete all of the rest of the work at this critical facility. Be happy to answer any questions about this report at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Wong. Commissioner Calosa.
Thank you, President Good. I don't have any questions on this item. I think we heard from Mr. Wong the importance of this project and making sure that there's no delays in the fan and ducting installation. So just looking forward to seeing the item move forward, and no further questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. President Pro Tem Davis.
Yes, no questions from me on this item either, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Vice President Garcia.
Thank you, President Good. No questions from me. Ethan, thank you for your report, and Ms. Simmons, always thank you. And it's always good to have you in our meetings. I know that something's going to get fixed when you're here. All right, well, that's all for me. I don't have any questions.
Got it. Both of these two. I don't really have any questions. I just know that when we're talking about biosolids and talking about fans, none of us want to be in front of those fans. So we should definitely get it fixed. I will motion to move the item forward. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Davis. Dr. Campos, would you mind taking a roll call, please?
Absolutely. There's been a motion by Commissioner Good, seconded by Commissioner Davis to adopt item number 11. We'll go ahead and take the vote at this time. President Good.
Aye.
Vice President Garcia.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis.
Aye.
And Commissioner Caloza.
Aye.
This motion carries unanimous and is adopted. Mr. President, would you like to consider this item to go forthwith?
Yes, sir, please.
Thank you.
All right, folks, let's, we're going to recess for 5 minutes. We will return at 11:05 in the a.m.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, Dr. Campos, why don't we go ahead? All right, Dr. Campos, you want to reestablish quorum for us, please, sir?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. It's 11:08 a.m. We're reestablishing quorum. We have President Good, Vice President Garcia, President Pro Tem Davis, and Commissioner Caloza. Mr. President, you do have a quorum.
Thank you, Dr. Campos. All right, let's jump right in. We'll go to item number 13. Item 13 is a request for proposals. Clean water and stormwater control system upgrade and integration. Recommending the board, 1, authorize the director and general manager of the Bureau of Sanitation or her designee to distribute and advertise the transmitted RFP for clean water and stormwater control system upgrade and integration. 2, authorize BOS to evaluate the proposals and from the respondents, select and interview the responsible and responsive proposer whose final proposal is most advantageous to the city of Los Angeles based on established evaluation criteria set forth in the RFP. 3, authorize BOS to negotiate a contract with the selected proposer. 4, authorize BOS to return to the Board of Public Works for authority to award and execute the contract. And 5, consider that this project be awarded subject to the inclusion of a project labor agreement. Work order SZC 14163, SZC 14164, SCC 14165, SO 494N SWIG, and this was, as everyone will recall, continued from our meeting on Wednesday, November 17, 2021. I see Mr. Alavi is with us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning, President Good.
And Ms. Chisholm and Mr. Steppen, are they also here on the item?
Yes, we are. Good morning.
Okay, great. All right, Mr. Alavi, please proceed.
Okay, I have a few slides. I'd like to share the screen.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mr. Alavi, I will go ahead and make you co-host. Once you are co-host, there will be an icon at the lower right-hand side that's red that says end or end meeting. Please do not click on that button. That will terminate the full meeting for everyone.
Right.
So you should get an invite in about 5 seconds. Once you see the co-host rights, you should be able to hover over the middle lower side of your screen. You should have a green icon called share screen, and then you can go ahead and share your screen at that time.
Dr. Campos, you see my screen?
We do not.
How about now? Okay, campus, do you see my screen?
No, we do not.
Well, in that case, I'm just going to go over the slides, and then Nick from Bureau of Conveyance Division can cut in anytime, and because they are the end user of the system. So going over the LA Sands vision on the control system is implementation of enterprise-wide distributed control system to integrate all operations, monitoring, and communication. That is for all the treatment plants, the collection system, and various operational system at an enterprise level from any single location. So there was a question about the enterprise. What is the enterprise? Enterprise represents all LSM facilities, and an enterprise enable controls monitoring and communication of all facilities and equipment within LSM from any single location. In other words, anybody with proper access at, say, Hyperion can have access, control the facilities at, say, TI, Terminal Island, or LAG, or collection system. So with the new system, each plant no longer needs to operate as a standalone facility. With the new system, future upgrades can be done comprehensively across the system, avoiding situation of different versions of operating system at each facility. This also makes it easier for training. The system also unifies the historian database. In a way, this contract is continuation of LA Winds, and the LA Winds contract installed enterprise communication backbone connecting the 4 treatment plants and Venice pumping station, as Venice pump station being the integration point for all 88 remote sites. Currently, LA Winds is under maintenance phase that will end in 2028, and again, Honeywell continues to take care of the maintenance and all the issues that we discussed during the settlement and change orders that they're still working on those, but they're primarily on the maintenance phase. The integration of 88 clean water and the stormwater remote facilities was not included as part of LA Winds contract. The enterprise-wide distribution control system communication backbone is now established and is ready for integration of all remaining clean water and stormwater facilities. That includes, of course, Venice pump station. The control system equipment of remote sites are not standardized. They are from different manufacturers, and also they are in different life cycles. Some are over 40 years old. Imagine the PLC or computer, or the brain of the system at these facilities that are mostly unstaffed, being from 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, trying to communicate with the most modern system that we have in place. Under LA Winds contract, Honeywell has a new system and also continues to upgrade it, so no hardware or software is going to be older than 2 years. And it's going to continue until 2028. And so the control system for the remote sites, 88 more remote sites, have to be able to communicate and talk to the system. The communication system for the 88 sites encounters frequent failures due to aging equipment and corrosive environment of the pump stations, for instance. There is a technological gap between the clean water conveyance divisions existing in SCADA. The existing SCADA system and the integration control system, the DCS, deployed under the LA Winds project. So there's a big gap between these two, old versus new. I would say 20th century versus 21st century technology. To maximize the full benefits of the integrated DCS, the Elements project basically, the gap has to be filled by upgrading the wide area network communication modems and it is associated controller hardware. The communication right now relies on very old dial-in telephone lines, leased telephone lines, which is extremely unreliable. So the communication is lacking. It's fragile at best. Completing the integration of remaining clean water and stormwater remote facilities will fulfill the LSAN's vision of an enterprise-wide DCS integration, integrating all operations from any single location. The scope of the work, successful bidder upon signing the contract will be generally responsible for project management, engineering design, procurement, implementation of temporary controls, replacement of existing aging equipment with standardized equipment. That includes, for instance, PLC, the UPS, HMIs, and communication modems. Implementation of new communication protocols, migration from obsolete telephone lines to more current technologies such as 5G wireless or satellite, depending on what the contractor, based on their means and method, choose. Of course, it has to be approved by the city. Also included are the testing, which includes the prior to installation readiness testing, we call it, and also after they do install the equipment, there's a functional test to make sure that it's working in the field. There are permitting requirements that they take care of. Also, they need to identify value engineering opportunities, alternative methods or equipment that's agreeable by the city and save some city some time or money. Also, they have to take care of the overall cutover and commissioning responsibility. Once they're all done in, say, sometime in 2026, it's going to continue with the 2 years of warranty. Takes us to 2028, which, by the way, coincides with ending of the maintenance phase of LMEs. So at that time, that's a good timing for considering maintenance requirement for the entire facility at that time. So the new contract is envisioned to be awarded to a system integrator or electrical contractor, which is independent from Honeywell. Again, Honeywell is not going to be the contractor, most likely. But the Honeywell equipment will be used to maintain uniformity. Again, Honeywell, although is not going to be on this project, except for providing equipment as a vendor, but they also take care of the maintenance phase and the other issues that we had, like the faceplates that they are going to complete, bringing back the standard, their standards faceplate for the rest of the facilities. So the strategy for the new contract is we decided to group them into 4 groups, which with NTP, notice to proceed for each group, issued separately. Now, the reason for that is, first of all, Group A, B, C, for the sewage pump stations and air treatment facilities, use the SCM funding, whereas the Group 4, for a stormwater site, use a different funding, a stormwater pollution abatement fund. So that's one reason. That's one reason for separating them into Group A, B, C, and then a stormwater group. And also, we have the flexibility to withhold NTP. If we are not happy, if the city is not happy with the performance of a contractor, once they are done with Group A, then we can terminate the contract. So this way, we keep them on their toes, and based on what we learned from LA Winch contract, this is a good way to make sure that they don't cut corners. Completion of new contract, again, it takes about 3.5 to 4 years, and is gonna finish at the 2028, and then at that time, LA Sang can formulate a comprehensive strategy for maintenance and upkeeping of the entire system after 2028. Now, the project schedule, we are suggesting a project schedule, but bottom line, it would be used as a guideline for the contractor. They have to come up with their own schedule that needs to be reviewed by the city. But as a guideline, we provide them some project schedule. The engineering schedule is based on cascade delivery of work, multiple phases of work taking place concurrently, what the system envisions on how the work could be executed by the contractor. NTP, notice to proceed for Group A, which constitutes 18 sites, 18 remote sites, is anticipated to be in late 2022. Implementation of temporary control is in order to minimize operational disruption for Group A, and other groups are expected to start 2 months after respective NTP. So the duration for Group A is expected to be about 18 months. NTP for Group B, which has 20 sites, is anticipated to be 6 months after NTP for Group A, and so on and so forth. It goes all the way through Group E, which is the stormwater. So the timeline that we envision at this time may look compressed, but there are a lot of concurrent work at the same time. Programming efforts are expected to be streamlined. So once they are done with Group A, they do the designing for different types of facility. For example, 2 pump station, 3 pump station, 4 pump station, and also air treatment facilities. Once they are done with that, for following groups, B, C, and the stormwater, they can replicate a lot of that. So they speed up. You can expect it to do it at a much faster stage. Now, this contract is gonna be design build type, and we had to get an ordinance approved. Ordinance 187154 was approved by the City Council and signed by the Mayor, and became effective as of October 2021. The project labor agreement, the project labor will be is included in the contract and applicable during the construction phase. I'd just like to request a verbal amendment of the board report for the recommendation number 5 regarding PLA. Just for clarification, the PLA is going to apply only for the construction phase, and hope it's agreeable to do that verbal amendment of the contract, of the board report. So the PLA will be signed by successful bidder, by the contractor that we select, and the Bureau of Contract Administration will enforce PLA compliance. Also, I'd like to add the fact that we are going to provide more participation from local businesses to participate in their proposal. If they're local business enterprise, they qualify for under local business enterprise, they get additional 8% as a prime. Now, if the prime is not local, but they hire local subcontractors, they get up to 5%, 10%, 1 point for each 10% of the contract going to the local businesses. It is going to be added to their, as a bonus to their scoring. There were a few questions last time asked by commissioners. What is an enterprise system? An enterprise system enables controls, monitoring, and communication of all LSM facilities from any single location. In other words, different facilities can communicate, and from any location we can take care of monitoring, control, and maintenance. How is the project labor agreement going to be implemented? The PLA applicable during the construction phase, and then PLA will be signed by successful bidder, as we mentioned. There was a question as where was the headquarters? Where is the system going to be headquartered? Venice pumping plant will serve as central command hub for all 88 remote sites. The main enterprise backbone is at Hyperion. Venice pumping plant will collect data from all remote sites before relaying it to Hyperion. At completion, with proper access, any control system workstation can monitor, again, control or communicate with any remote sites. Who will be on the selection panel? We have been soliciting subject matter experts from clean water conveyance, including Nick, that's present, Mr. Nick Stephan, and Kwasi. We have Mr. Charles D. from ICST, we have folks from EED, and we're going to have some representative from BCA, Bureau of Contract Administration. They're going to be on the panel. Now, if the panel gets too large, the PMO, that includes myself, will not be on the selection panel, but will serve as a facilitator. So depending on how many folks we have on the panel. Who may be successful bidder? There are selection criteria defined in the RFP and also is included in the board report. The written proposal will be evaluated based on professional qualification, past involvement with similar projects, cutover and commissioning options to minimize disruption to operation and, of course, the total cost. The bidder within the top 3 scores will be invited to a second phase selection, which will be an interview in an interview format. Bidder's interview will be evaluated based on value engineering strategies, project delivery methodology, experience of proposers, key personnel. We look at their resumes of key people, and risk management approach. Once again, Honeywell equipment will be used as an authorized city sole source vendor. So there was a question, where are all these CMOS and how they are being grouped? The 88 sites are scattered throughout the city and in all council districts. Now again, as I mentioned, because of separation of funding, Group A, B, C are separated from Group stormwater site for funding purposes. And the priority was determined by the Conveyance Division and ICST. A number of parameters were considered, including communication reliability of the existing hardware, sequencing of communication channels, and criticality of the sites to avoid cascade failure and excessive downtime during the cutover. And Nick can expand on this procedure and how they came up with this prioritization to Group A, B, and C. I'd like to also add the fact that we are taking care of 88 sites at the same time with the one contract, and economy of scale applies. The cost would be between 200 to 300,000 per site. That covers engineering, procurement, and installation of equipment and contract administration costs. So that's a significant saving as opposed to taking one site at a time. On the final remarks, in light of recent incidents at Hyperion and also 2017 flooding at TI and other instances of flooding and overflow, the criticality of having a good control system is paramount as a tool for prevention instead of costly mitigation after the fact. So instead of spending money for draining the flooded basement at TI, for example, back in 2017, or recent incident at Hyperion, just to find out that all this new equipment have been damaged, expensive equipment has been damaged. So it's much better to spend on the infrastructure to prevent that, to help prevent those type of incidences. So with this new system, it would allow the conveyance division to notice anomalies upstream of the plant and take corrective actions and notify the plant. It also allows the plant to proactively prepare for anomalies and take preventive actions in collaboration with conveyance division. Even if corrective action and preventive action were not effective, it allows LSN to take further action to divert the flow and at the minimum avoid damages to the plant. This project will proactively provide the necessary tools to help prevent similar costly and catastrophic instances in the future. In conclusion, this project will fulfill LSN's vision of an enterprise-level control system to enhance future operation monitoring and communication among different facilities. With that, we would be happy to answer any question.
Thank you, Mr. Alavi. Let's open this up for questions. Vice President Garcia.
Thank you, President Good. Mr. Alavi, thank you for your presentation, and Mr. Stefan and Ms. Chrisholm, also thank you for being part of the team. My only clarification on this, and thank you so much, Mr. Alavi, for all your detail, is that you're asking the amendment to be only to say that the project labor agreement will only be awarded during the construction phase, not the design phase of this project, right?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay, I just wanted to kind of, move things around and make sure that we focus on, not focus, but at least we highlight that part of it. I appreciate your team, including a design build is what you said this was, right?
Yes, design build as a delivery vehicle.
Right. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. And then second, thank you for also, I understand that this is one of the very first of many more project labor agreements being included. So thank you for that. And I appreciate that. And I'll talk to BCA about what this, well, I'm sure we'll hear from BCA at a later point with this project, how many jobs this project created out in the community. So thank you for
Well, Commissioner, following our briefing, I talked with the team and we came up with an approximate estimate of about 20, more than 20, at least 20 electricians, instrument techs will be hired by the contractor.
Okay.
For a duration of 3.5 to 4 years. So
Very
minimum 20 folks create jobs, of course.
Thank you for that. I know I had asked you that during the briefing.
Right.
Other than that, I appreciate your time and your effort, and I look forward to making this happen, especially like you said, Mr. Alavi, given the Hyperion situation, this is now even more critical. So I know it's a process from now. It's not going to be just, right away, but at least we're getting it started. So thank you for your time, Mr. Alavi and Mr. Stefan and Ms. Chrisholm.
Thank you, Commissioner.
No more questions from me, President Good.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Commissioner Calosa?
Thank you, President Good. Thanks for your presentation, Mr. Alabi, and for answering some of the questions that were asked preemptively in the last hearing. The only thing that I wanted to ask about was I know Commissioner Villegas was the one who continued this item because she wanted a briefing and a hearing on this. Unfortunately, she's not here today. And so I just wanted to ask if you were able to brief her and answer her questions, as she's not able to hear your second presentation today.
Actually, Commissioner, we had the chance to brief actually with the Commissioner, and she was happy with our presentation. I went through the same presentation actually, and she seemed to be happy. If there is a need for additional briefing, we will of course take care of it.
Mr. Stefan and Ms. Chisholm, did you want to add anything?
No, yeah, just thank you for the time. This project is really critical in my opinion. That's my job, is to make sure that these 88 facilities operate and keep the wastewater in the conveyance system and don't come out onto the ground, which is a public nuisance and environmental hazard. So that's my number one priority. So this project is going to streamline that and make that a lot easier by able to monitor these sites, not only from the Venice pump station, but from the other treatment plants, as well as our office down by Dodger Stadium. So having more eyes on the system at all times is going to be critical, and improving the communication is going to be a really great asset and investment for us for future operations. So really appreciate the time.
Great, thanks, Mr. Stefan. Did you want to add anything, Ms. Chisholm? You waited
Hey, good morning. Andrea, Bureau of Contract Administration. We support the application of the PLA to this project, and Office of Contract Compliance would be actively monitoring the project for those project hours, those targeted local hire, local apprenticeship, and transitional hiring goals.
Great, appreciate it. Thank you both, and thank you for briefing Commissioner Villegas and offering briefings to the rest of the board if needed. I don't have any further questions.
Thank you, Commissioner. President Pro Tem Davis. You're on mute, Mike.
Yes, sir. I have been briefed on the project, and in addition to that, heard the report presented here today, and I agree with Mr. Stefan's account of what the value of this project will be to our ability to effectively manage those operations in our jurisdiction. And so I will move the item, Mr. President, at the appropriate time.
Okay, I'll take your motion. I'm good and clear with this. I think it's critical that we move expeditiously, and really appreciate the process that Mr. Alabi and I think Mr. Stefan and Ms. Chisholm have engaged in. So I'll take your motion to move the item forward. President Pro Tem Davis, do I have a second? Oh, excuse me, yeah. So, gotcha, Dr. Campos. So, President Pro Tem Davis, do you accept the requested amendment to the report?
What was the amendment again? Please refresh my memory.
Dr. Campos, you want to share?
Yeah, absolutely. Fernando Campos, Executive Officer. The proposed amendment is to recommendation number 5. It would read as follows. Consider that this project be awarded subject to the inclusion of a project labor agreement applicable to construction phase of the project only.
Absolutely. Because there are a lot of subspecialties here, and obviously the application of the project labor agreement to the construction phase is the match that will allow us to achieve what we expect to have take place in terms of the employment of those individuals on the project labor agreement. So again, I accept the amendment, Mr. President.
Okay, so then I believe Dr. Davis is motioning to move the item as amended. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Vice President Garcia. Actually, before we take a roll call, I just wanted to just double check with Mr. Jordan. Do you see, does this amended recommendation on number 5 achieve the objectives we seek, Ted, i.e. Making sure that this is covered in the RFP?
Yes, absolutely. And your office has already reviewed the RFP, so and I think the appropriate language, more importantly, is actually in the RFP itself. And to the extent any issues come up, any questions, because this is a process where there'll be, proposers will have an opportunity to ask. The Bureau will provide any further clarifications that they need. So we concur in the report, the amendment, and so we're good.
All right. Thank you, Ted. Appreciate that. All right, Dr. Campos, you want to take roll, please?
Absolutely. There's been a motion by Commissioner Davis, seconded by Commissioner Garcia to adopt item number 13 as amended, subject to the conditions listed in the report. We will go ahead and take the vote at this time. President Good?
Aye.
Vice President Garcia?
Aye.
President Pro Tem Davis?
Aye.
And Commissioner Caloza?
Aye.
This motion is adopted and carries unanimous. Mr. President, would you like to consider this item to go forthwith?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lavi. Thank you, Mr. Stefan. Thank you, Ms. Chisholm. Y'all have great days and good luck with the work. Let's get it done.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank y'all. All right. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. That brings us to item 14, City Trees, Bureau of Street Services presentation. Mr. Miranda, I believe, is with us on this.
Good morning, yes. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me here?
Yes, Mr. Miranda, do you need to share your screen or just an oral report?
No, just an oral report.
Great, thank you.
Okay, good morning, everyone, commissioners and President Good. My name is David Miranda, Urban Forestry Division Manager, and I'm here to present the Bureau of Street Services, Streets LA Urban Forestry Division oral report for fiscal year 21-22 from July 1st, 2021 through October 31st, 2021. Emergency requests. Urban Forestry Division received a total of 4,200 tree emergencies, 2,600 obstruction requests for a total of 6,800 total emergency tree-related work requests that we received and completed. The average emergency first response time is 0.08 of 1 day, and the final cleanup of less than 3 days. This includes rain, wind, and fire events during the fiscal year. Our goal is to always maintain outstanding customer service for our constituents citywide. Tree trimming. UFD has a set goal to trim 33,000 trees this fiscal year. UFD trimmed a total of 9,500 trees and will target to accomplish this tree trimming goal by the end of the fiscal year. Tree and stump removals. UFD is actively engaged in removing dead, dying, diseased trees and stumps prevalent citywide. UFD set a goal to remove 1,800 trees and stumps this fiscal year. UFD removed 1,200 trees and 1,400 stumps to date. Happy to say that we're ahead of our projected goals this year. Our green waste processing. UFD recycles approximately 26,000 tons annually from material derived from its tree care and removal operations. The organic material is ground and converted into mulch and used in landscapes and agricultural fields for use in weed suppressant, moisture retention, and other environmental aesthetic benefits. Landscape medians. Early this fiscal year, 21-22, Board of Public Works approved the first renewal for our landscape maintenance contracts for all landscape medians. The 4 contractors will continue to service approximately 10.5 million square feet of medians once every 2 weeks. The tree inventory. The city's tree inventory started in October of 2019, spearheaded by Davy Resource Group, DRG, and as of November 29, 2021, there has been 547,600 sites collected with 387,130 live trees, and anticipate the collection of 554,000 sites by the end of next week. DRG completed data collection and tree inventory for 55 of the 99 certified neighborhood consoles. UFD continues to receive weekly progress reports from DRG, which provides UFD valued information. The completed neighborhood console tree inventory reports are available to the public on the Bureau of Street Services website, along with an online map of our inventory trees. Tree planting. Streets LA UFD continues effort to sustain the tree population by planting new trees. The tree planting goal for UFD fiscal year 21-22 is 1,500 trees. UFD has planted a total of 250 trees. Last year, UFD identified 294 trees as part of the tree planting guarantee fee program. This year, staff have identified 225 sites and will continue to commence tree planting. BSS sidewalk repair program. All work combined Streets LA UFD crews trimmed and root pruned 443 trees, removed 58 trees, 63 stumps, and replanted 116 trees citywide. Our BSS watering crews, UFD watering crews are currently watering and maintaining approximately 6,000 trees citywide. BOE sidewalk rebate program, BSS Urban Forestry Division inspected 271 locations. This concludes our report. If you require any additional information, feel free to reach me at 213-847-3117 or at my email, david.miranda@lecity.org. I'm open to any questions that anybody here might have today.
Thank you, Mr. Miranda. President Pro Tem Davis, any questions?
No questions for me.
All right, thank you, sir. Commissioner Colosa.
Thank you, President Good. No questions for me. Thank you for the detailed presentation, Mr. Miranda. Great to see that your team is ahead of schedule on some of those metrics.
Definitely, thank you.
Yes, thank you. All right, Vice President Garcia.
No questions from me either, President Good and Mr. Miranda. Thank you for your report. You did a very good job in executing and presenting everything with detail. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Ditto. Thank you, David. Really appreciate the report. It was comprehensive, and yeah, it's exciting. Well ahead on those stumps. That's good news. And appreciate the continued work. One actually qualifying question on the tree inventory. What is and forgive me if you actually said this. What percentage are we at?
We're about halfway through there, about up to 2/3. So looking at here, I mentioned it here, 500. Let me see here real quick. So as of November 29, 547,000 sites collected with 387,000. So we're about halfway there. We have an estimated 700,000 trees. So about 50%. Okay. So 55 of the 99 neighborhood consoles, and there's 3 that are not included as part of the neighborhood consoles.
Okay. All right. Thank you, David. Really appreciate that. Thank you for the report. And you have a great rest of your week, okay?
Thank you. And I want to thank all the UFD team that's always working endlessly during all the storms and wind events that we always have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Miranda. All right. And thank you, yes, to all the UFD teams. I know that everybody's working extremely hard with the winds and a lot of folks on overtime and grinding away. So thank you to the whole UFD team. Thanks for reminding us of that as well. All right, folks, let's go to our final item of the day, and this is a report on contracts expiring within 90 days. I see that we have, who all is going to be reporting, Dr. Campos?
Mr. President, Fernando Campos, Executive Officer, we only have one presentation today for item number 15 from the Bureau of Street Services. Ms. Melinda Chow is on the line, and all the other bureaus have reported nothing to report.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Campos. Always good to see Ms. Chow. Well, still good morning, Ms. Chow. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, board members. We only have one contract that is expiring within the next 90 days, covering basically December 2021 through February 2022. The contract is with Alfred J.C. Decole for coordinated street furniture program, which installs and maintains the transit shelters, toilets, and kiosks that are in exchange for advertising revenue. That contract actually expires the end of this calendar year, December 31st, 2021. RFP was released, and a top proposer has been selected, and the draft contract is currently pending at the city attorney's office. We are planning to have the contract in place come January 1st, 2022. So we are on target. And that's all I have.
All right. Any questions, folks? Vice President Garcia?
No questions from me. Thank you, Ms. Chow, for your report.
Thank you, Vice President. President Pro Tem Davis?
No, none for me either, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. And Commissioner Closer?
Thank you, President Good. No questions from me. Thank you for your report, Ms. Chow. Nice to see you're in the holiday spirit there already with your bright red. Have a good day.
Thank you.
I know, not lost on me either. The red jumps, Ms. Chow. Thank you. Excellent. We're all looking forward to the holidays. This is
definitely.
And
hope everyone stays safe.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you for your report. Appreciate it as always. So it's good to see you. So with that, I think we've cleared the decks. Yes, Dr. Campos?
Yes, you have.
All right. So thanks, Ms. Chow. Thank you, Mr. Jordan. Thank you, Mr. Miranda. And thank you, colleagues. This meeting is officially adjourned. Y'all have great days and great rest of your weeks, okay?
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.